What's up, guys? Welcome back to the far southwest corner of Texas. Today marks day 2 of this 30-ish mile backpacking adventure in the Guadalupe Mountains. This is the oatmeal I had last night, and it's 48 hours old, but still pretty good. Able to fill up our water here, which is very lucky, and saying bye to Dog Canyon Campground. There's a nice little campsite over there, but got about 10 miles to do now today, and about 3,700 feet of elevation gain. We crossed the park and came in from that direction yesterday, but today we're turning right. Going to be reaching Bush Mountain at some point, much later in the day, which is where our campsite's located. That is, assuming we don't get eaten first, like this unfortunate creature. There are mountain lions and bears out here. Making pretty good time so far. Climbed up out of this drainage. It is starting to get very cold though, and it's looking overcast, so gonna be on the lookout for snow or sleet, and hoping it doesn't come to that, as Stephanie forgot her gloves. We're headed towards the storm clouds and into seldomly visited parts of this park. I, for one, have never been out here. Very excited to see it. And I doubt we'll see anyone else the rest of the day. Yesterday there wasn't much transition between the foothills and the mountains, but today I think we're going to be dropping off into these foothills to my left and then slowly working our way up back into the mountains. Starting to snow a little bit, so we fashioned Stephanie some gloves. Not sure what the temperature is, but it's gotta be well below 32 with the wind chill. It's very cold up here.
Careful near the edge.
In the desert, you have these low points where water collects, and it tends to be where the bigger trees and shrubs collect as a result as well. I think it's a good place to look for resources in emergency, but trying to cross those areas can be very time consuming. You're fighting brush and brambles, cacti. As we saw yesterday, it's not just the trees and shrubs that track these kind of like water drainages, it's also the trails. And unsurprisingly, these water drainages are a bit like riverbeds. Big, roundish rocks, pretty easy to twist your ankle. Gotta be careful walking through this stuff.
I'm gonna eat one of them.
Fair enough.
That's the thing in desert cartoons.
Yeah, the tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed.
Got a big ridge line on the left, one on the right, and in the center where they meet is typically called a draw. And as I was mentioning earlier, these areas can be very slow to traverse, but in some cases the water can be powerful enough and regular enough that it will just clear out the center, form kind of like a nice little creek bed as we have here. And yeah, it looks like that's the case here, so should be able to traverse this relatively easily. The trail is ex to the draw and is side hilling on this leftmost ridgeline. As you can see, it's avoiding all that brush off to my right. This is a very common tactic if you're stuck in the draw. A little bit of side hilling off to the left or right can get you through.
A lot of dead trees, yeah?
Trail is becoming significantly harder to follow at this point, and I think that's largely because these trails are so seldomly used that they're blending in with the game trails, and so it's easy to get off track. Indeed, I think we were on some game trails, as found the main, more official looking trail again. Looks more well traveled anyway, so good to be back on track. After many miles of these fields, it looks like on the map we're going to gain this ridgeline, maybe cross it towards that mountain over there. It's the only thing that really makes sense, but not positive. We are gaining this ridgeline, and really the timing couldn't be better. Appears to be a bit of a storm blowing in, and I think we all know the safest place in a lightning storm is up high. Across those distant foothills and made our way across many miles of pretty open fields, I would say we've pretty much gained the ridgeline at this point, but looking ahead it appears to be nothing but climbing, so definitely still have our work cut out for us. Yeah, so we need to gain a second ridgeline, it's looking like, and that should take us up into the true Guadalupe Mountains again. And it's starting to snow again. Very cold, very exposed up here, but that's just how we like it. Hard for me to tell if the sun has actually raised the air temperature, but certainly raised our spirits a little bit. So we gained the ridgeline that was perpendicular to our direction of travel, and now we have yet another ridgeline perpendicular to our direction of travel. Looks like that one's going to take us back into the forest. I mentioned this in the last episode, but these elevated forested areas in the middle of deserts, they're known as sky islands. Sky islands are some of my favorite places to explore.
I was wondering the same thing.
It's really a beautiful misty sunset here. Kind of reminds me of the Great Smoky Mountains, but it's getting dark. We're definitely going to be hiking in the dark. That's the general direction we're headed, so gotta get to it. A lot of up and down today, and looks like at least one more, in this case down and then up. Gotta get across this draw, go over to that ridge line. I think a lot of people are somewhat irrationally afraid of animals after dark, but really it's this kind of stuff that's dangerous. Twist your ankle, mess up your knee, really get hurt in a hurry when you're trying to go down this kind of stuff in the dark. Be very careful. The collective patience is running thin in this section. Definitely more climbing left than was realized, and it's all in the dark.
Really watch your step there.
You'll have to take my word for it, but I believe we've reached the summit of Bush Mountain, and I think that's Carlsbad, New Mexico in the distance, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, getting close to the campsite, another mile or so to go.
High ground on the right, kind of a valley-ish thing that we crossed on the left, forested, so it will be wind protected. See, nice little smooth spot, protected by trees from the wind.
It's right here.
Always good to carry a lighter for these self-igniting stoves as well. They often fail to self-ignite. Well guys, it is absolutely frigid in this tent. Gonna do a little bit of reading while Stephanie enjoys her hypothermia. If you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, consider liking and subscribing, and hope to see you in part 3. Thanks for watching.